Hey guys, Duchess Braids here and welcome back to my channel. So if you guys watched my last video, then you pretty much know what style I'm going to be doing today for the do-it-yourself braids. Instead of 6 braids with small braids in between, I'm going to be doing 4 braids. Then at the back, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm still going to put it in a bun, but I'm just not going to have those curls and I'm going to fluff it out some. I don't know how I feel completely about the curls in the front, but it's trending and I know a lot of people want to try it and a lot of people do like that style. So we're gonna go ahead and just show you how I do that. But I'm just gonna do 4 braids real quick and easy. Well, easy for me, but hopefully you guys can learn and try it at home. So let's get started.
All right, so we're starting off freshly washed and blown out, and my hair is moisturized. I know a lot of braiders that don't like when you come to the salon with any type of oil or any type of product in your hair, and I completely understand that. But here's a trick that I use to make sure that my hair is moisturized before getting it braided. So one of the things I like to do is when my hair is wet from a wash, I like to mix the Goddess Strength from Cow's Daughter, their leave-in conditioner, with the Mayel rosemary oil, and I mix those two together and I lather my hair with that, and then I go in and blow it out. And so that my hair is moisturized, but also it's not dripping from oil when I show up to get my hair braided, or for you guys when you show up to get your hair braided, so that whatever your stylist chooses to use to braid your hair, it doesn't turn white or it doesn't make their hand slip or anything like that. That's why braiders don't like when you show up with any type of products in your hair, is because they don't want it to interfere with the products they choose to use to braid your hair with. So you guys know I've been using this Neat Braids gel for a while now. It's almost done. Look at the jar. And what I love about this product is the ingredients. As you can see, it's very minimum, and most of the ingredients in it, I can see exactly what it is. There's nothing foreign or nothing too much chemicals or anything like that that I see in it. So I love that for that jam. And yeah, I've been using it mixed well with a lot of things that I use in my head. It doesn't turn white and it just does what I need it to do. So of course, you guys know I'm always going to start off with the middle part because that's just what I do. But we're also going to need the middle part in this instance. So I did go ahead and do a pre-part of the middle part first. Then I ran the Neat Braids gel across the entire part. And now I'm going in and cleaning this up. And even when you're doing parts on yourself, you guys, it's already difficult to do it on other people, but even when you're doing it on yourself, it can be difficult. And that's why I rely so heavily on my sense of touch when I'm parting. That's why you see my fingers all up in the situation right there, is because I have to use my sense of touch to guide the comb so that I know where the comb is going. I've been doing this for a while, so if you're trying this and you're not able to get it, it just takes a lot of practice. Listen, I'm doing the dance because I know how hard it can be. And when I accomplish it, I am still very happy that I'm able to do it. So these parts aren't going to be perfect, but I want them to be as straight as possible and as proportionate as possible. So what right now I'm going in with the other part, because like we said, it's going to be 4 braids. So we're going to have basically 3 parts, one in the middle, 2 on the sides. And this one, I just find the center and start parting from there. And then I just want to curve around my ear and end up in the center of the back, which is like the from the halfway point to the other side closest to my ear. I want to find the center of that, and I want my line to fall in between that. So what I'm doing now is I did like the basic part, and I like to go in and clean up. And the cleanup can be a little rough because it's like, girl, you already did a part that seems to be almost already perfect. And when you go in there to clean it up, you can sometimes mess it up. So sometimes I might skip the cleanup. I might just run the gel across the part and then just separate it and not worry about going back in with a comb and like parting it out, because I really could mess up a really good part like that. So yeah, just if you get a straight part from the beginning, like from just like the pre-parting, don't worry about cleaning it up too much, because you really can mess up a really good part by doing that. So yeah, I cleaned up the first one. It's not straight, but it'll do the job as long as the braids are proportional. The space that I have in between both are proportional, which means like one is not super thick and one is like super small. You definitely want to look out for that. So if you want your braids to look really, really good, just pay attention to making sure the parts are decent and then more so on the proportional part of things. You don't want it to be that one is huge and one is small. Like, people are going to be able to see that. They might forgive you for the parts a little bit, but they're probably not going to forgive you for the disproportion of the braids. So make sure to pay attention to that. So now I've parted out the other side, and yeah, like, I did see that it was a little bit not proportional. So the one closest to the ear was a little bit smaller. So I went back in, I found the space that I could fix that, and I went ahead and fixed that. And like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, it's not perfect, but it's good enough to not mess with it anymore. And in this case, I believe that this is where I came to the conclusion, like, okay, it might be good enough to just move on. So I went ahead and put the neat braids gel on that part, and I'm cleaning up the front to just make sure it's nice. And when I get to the back is when I'll give myself some like forgiveness and just move on from that. So right now I'm not going to part the back out. I'm just going to separate it. I have the jam on it. So I'm just going to use the comb and my finger and just separate the hair. I'm not going to try to part it again because, like I said, I got a good enough part to where I don't really want to mess that up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to braid this hair out the way, and this is an easy way to just have your parts done, braid the hair out the way. And so that once you get started on the difficult part, which is like braiding the hair, you don't have too much in the way. So this is basically getting the hair out the way. Because if I had just clipped it off, it would still be somewhat in the way. So just doing a loose braid doesn't take much time, and it just gets the hair out the way. Because trying to put it in a ponytail or trying to do this and that, like, my hair is just not long enough to just throw it in a ponytail. So what I'm doing is braiding it back and clipping it up. So this is the hair that I love to use, you guys. This is the Expressions hair. This hair is not going to damage your nail. Well, it doesn't damage my nail. So as a braider, I've been braiding for a while. I've used different types of hair, and this one seems to be sticking to me because I like how it feels. I like how it braids. I like the amount that they give you in it, and I like that it doesn't damage my nail bed or to give me hanging nails. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys how I layer my hair for these 4 braids. I've already had 3 rows, and this is going to be my 4th row. So I'm going to start out with the thickest part. So the thickest part that I'm placing now on the rack is the hair that's going to be at the back of my braid. So I'm going to do it around this size, and if you can stop screenshot to see the size I'm using. Everyone's hair is different. My hair is a little bit finer. It's not super thick, so I really don't put that much hair in. So this is a good guide. However, it just depends on your hair. If your hair is super thick, you're not going to need half as much hair as I'm putting down on this rack right now. So the first 3 that I put down is going to go all the way at the back. And as I'm going towards the front of the rack, it's getting smaller and smaller. I don't know if you guys can see, but the amount of hair I'm pulling out is getting smaller and smaller. And you're going to see once I get to the front, it's going to get really small. And that's because, of course, once you start braiding, you don't want to put a big chunk of hair in. You want it to be as small as the legs, as one leg of your braid. So that's why it gets smaller. And then once I hit that last one, I normally put like one more that's super tiny. And I just kind of grab that out and put it above about 2 prongs that's on that rack. So that rack, you can get it from Walmart, or you can get it from, this one's plastic, so you can get this one from Amazon. I'll make sure to link everything in the description, as well as you'll see it on the bottom left of this screen. You'll be able to click on the icons and you'll be able to go and shop immediately off this video, so that you guys don't, you don't have to wait, or you don't have to get confused or whatever. You can go shop. Anyway, so I'm moving on to my first braid, you guys. Yes, we're finally here. So we're moving on to the first braid. And what I like to do is I like to part in between the middle of my big part. And that part that I just did is basically showing me where I want my braid to go. So I part it in the middle. I put some jam there because that is going to guide my braid on where it wants to go. And now I'm going to layer on both sides of that section. And right now I'm just combing it out. I'm using the Duchess Sprays Precision Comb, which will be linked in the description. It won't be on the video, but it will be linked in the description. This comb has took me through everything, the parting, the combing, blow drying, flat ironing, everything. So yeah. And now I'm coating the other side of this braid, and now I'm gonna brush it upwards. So I'm brushing the hair to basically form out where I want my braid to go. So the top part I'm brushing down and the bottom part I'm brushing up, and basically guiding where I want my first braid to go. So now I'm just pulling out my little adult hair, and we're gonna start getting our braid on. So what I like to do, I like to pull out, kind of part out two pieces, and then make my three legs from those two pieces and just continue to braid. I'm trying to start out doing stitch braids. As you guys can see, I'm using my pinky and I'm parting, but it's probably not going to last too long, guys, because stitch braid is extremely hard on yourself. And yeah, like once I get to a certain point, I'm just like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. But I like to see it in the beginning at least. I'll try my best. And then by the middle, my arms are on fire and I just want to get the braid over with. So I'm probably just going to like end up quitting. So right now I'm just pulling the hair off the rack. I'm starting with the smallest hair first. And then I'm just adding it in between my thumb and my pointer while my hand, which is my dominant hand, my right hand is holding. I grab the hair with my left hand and then I slip it between my thumb and my pointer and I just continue to braid. It becomes a part of my two of my three legs as I'm braiding. So that's what it's doing right now. I'm just slipping in. And for this braid, I'm basically using almost all the hair on the rack. I'm continuously using it, but you're going to see for the braids at the top, I'm probably not going to need that much hair because the hair at the top is normally thicker, and so you tend to use less hair, like adding in extensions. You tend to use less of it because it's so thick. All right, so as I'm going, sometimes you just need to stop and just comb the hair out. That's why I like to keep my comb at the top of my head. And right now I'm in pain. So whenever you see that pause and I make that face is because my arms are on fire, but I have to keep going. So right here, I've quit on the stitch braiding and I'm just going to just keep on braiding. We're not doing stitches anymore. These I need to get this braid done and over with. So as I'm going, I'm just adding in at almost every turn. I'm adding in some extensions, and sometimes I'll stop and I'll keep braiding for a little bit, and then I'll also stop and I'll brush the hair out. Whatever I need to do to make this a smooth process, that's what I do. So now that I'm at the nape, whenever you get to the nape, you guys, you do want to make sure the hair at the back is pulled out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pressing down on my nape to just kind of loosen up the hair at the back, because I'm one of those people that whenever it's tight at the back, I am very uncomfortable. It's very tender back there, but some people, they can go without having to deal with pulling the hair out at the back, but I'm definitely the person that can't move their neck or do anything when the back of the hair at the back is in some type of braid or ponytail or it's too tight. Yeah. So as I'm going, I'm just going to braid this down, but I'm not braiding it too tight because I'm going to end up fluffing out the ends, and which you guys will see at the end how that turns out. So now I'm going in with my second braid. So this is the braid that I'm going to add the curly pieces to, and this is some curly pieces that was just left over from some hair I had. This is braiding hair curly pieces. So I want to just pull out two little pieces because that's all I'm going to need for this, and these pieces are going to go in the front. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not sure how I feel about the curly pieces, but we'll see how I feel about them in the end. All right, so I'm going in between my section and I'm parting out. As you can see, I curved it because that's how I want my braid to go. I want my braid to be curved and then go all the way back. So this part is basically mapping out how I want my braid to form, and that's how it will be formed. So now I'm parting and slicking. Because this is such a huge section, I want to make sure that I have enough jam to where it's going to stay in place. It's going to lay down. So that's why I part some out and just kind of slick it instead of just slicking right on top. I just kind of parted out at the top so that I could have enough jam up there. So now I'm going in the back, and You guys see I'm using my little mirror. It comes in handy to have a mirror. I do definitely want to get one of those three-way mirrors, but I just don't know where I'm going to put it to where I could film and still have my like filming aesthetic with a three-way mirror. For right now though, using my hand mirror does work, so I'm not going to be too fussy about that. So here I am just coating both sides, and now I'm going to slick it up to where I want it to go. So I'm not slicking too far over, guys. I'm slicking right up into the middle where I want my braid to go. So even at the front, you guys know I want the front to curve down some, so that bottom half that I'm slicking up, I'm not slicking it up too far, and now the top part, I'm slicking it down to meet in the middle. So that's what I'm doing. This is going to help me form where I want my braid to go. So then I part my two pieces out and I start braiding. So the second piece I split into two, and the first piece is just one leg, and then I start to braid. So I don't want the piece that I'm gonna add in, the curly piece, to be right in the front. I kind of want some hair, like I want to get some width on my braid first before adding in the curly pieces, just so that it doesn't show. You see that thick piece right there? Once I start braiding, I don't want it to show too much in my braid, so I braid it back a little bit, and then I'm gonna pull my curly piece out. As you guys gonna see, like I did make a mistake with this. I pulled on it and I pulled too far, and it came down too far, and I just could not fix it, so I had to pull it out and start all over. Well, basically start from where if I could find my spot in line, I'm gonna always try to find my spot in line. But if I can't, I would like take the entire thing all like out and start over. But I was able to find my spot. And so I'm just gonna slip that hair right in between my thumb and my pointer and just continue to braid. It wasn't the easiest, and this is not the easiest, because you do want your curly pieces to lay a certain way. And so when you add it in, you kind of just want to add it in a certain way so that it lays flat, and you don't pull it out to where it's like sticking upwards, if you guys get what I'm saying. So once I've done that curly piece, I'm just going to keep braiding like as usual, guys. There's not much to it, as long as you got the add in the extensions in and add in the hair in. There's not much to it. And again, like I said, I wasn't too sure about these curly pieces, but we gonna see. But I'm just gonna keep going and add in the hair in. And as you can see, I'm gonna pretty much stop adding hair in, and it's funny because I'm like really exhausted at this point. But I'm gonna stop adding as much hair in because I feel like I have enough pieces in. I maybe had added in like 2 or 3 extensions before I kind of just stopped adding and just decided to keep going, because the hair is so thick at the top and I really don't want it to be super thick and bulky up there. So I'm just not going to keep adding hair until I get to the back. So this is how far I got before starting to add hair in again. And again, it just depends on your hair texture, how thick it is, how fine it is. That all depends before, to let you know how much hair you need to add in. All right, so I'm at the back now. So as I'm going, I'm adding in some jam on my hair so that, it's not too bulky. And then I like to stop sometimes and comb the hair out. You just have to just make sure you're like paying attention to these things so that it's neatly done, so that when you're done doing it, you're proud of the results. So you don't want to rush it too much. You do want to stop and add product sometimes to your ends, and you do want to comb it out, and you do want to make sure you add in enough hair so that once I get to the back, I do want to just continuously add in hair so that it's thick enough so that it's not super thin, right? All right, so now I'm on the other side and I'm just coating the sides just as I did before. I'm coating the top, and then I'm coating the side closest to my ear. And then now I'm just gonna part. Did I part in the middle? I'm just gonna part and coat. And yes, I am gonna part in the middle of where I want my braid to go. And then I'm gonna put some jam right there. And now I'm gonna brush towards it. And using this mirror can get a little confusing, y'all, because it could be a little difficult to use a mirror and, look at the back of your head and try to like work with it. But yeah. Now we're just combing and pressing. As you can see, I'm using my finger as well to kind of press it out. Then I'm going to pull out my adult hair because the adult hair does look good with this style once it's slicked down. I don't wouldn't say you need it, but it definitely put that extra humph into this style being super cute. So I do like to pull those out. I don't call them baby hair because mine is just not baby hair. It's definitely adults. All right, so now I'm gonna start braiding, and we don't put any curly pieces in this braid because you don't need it for this braid, but I do need it for the top braid. And I start out again with the stitching, and I'm gonna quickly be like, yeah, it's just not the easiest thing. And honestly, stitches look great, they do. However, like if you can get some cute braids without the stitches, like I feel like it's fine. Like nobody is really checking for the stitches that much anymore. Well, at least in my mind, y'all aren't checking for it like that. So I feel like if you can do some braids without the stitching and they're just cute, nice, neat braids, I just feel like you can get away with it. See? Difficult. Yep. That's when I quit. You can kind of tell from my face expression too, guys. I do have like RBF. What is it? RBF. But normally I'm happy, I do I am cheerful, but my face says otherwise most of the time. So just overlook that because even though my face might be saying one thing, my insides is saying something else. But we're just gonna keep going and finish this braid out. I've added most of the hair from the rack in this, and I wish I had got some footage of the rack, some more footage of the rack, just to kind of show you guys. But yeah, I'm filming this by myself. My tripod is hooked up to my mirror and it's just directly at me, so I can't move around too much, and plus I'm doing my own hair, so can't do too much with showing you guys the amount of footage that I want to show you because I'm doing this all by my lonesome. So then I'm just gonna braid it out slowly, and I think I'm taking my time to braid this out because I kind of want to show you guys. So once I get to a certain point of braiding it out, I have to kind of flip it around forward and start braiding more forward, because I can't braid directly going to the back like I started out. I kind of have to flip it forward and just braid it down. And I'm not gonna braid it all the way out, and I should be not braiding so tight. I am braiding pretty tight, but I shouldn't be because I'm gonna be loosening this up. So I'm gonna regret that braiding so tight because I do want to loosen it up. So now we're finally on the last braid, you guys. And honestly, these braids doesn't take that long to do. I think I might have did these in like an hour and a half or so. And technically, it usually takes me about 45 minutes to an hour on a client to do something like this. I'm no longer in the salon, so I'm no longer doing clients like that. I do friends and family at home. But I've even slowed down on that a bit. So that's why you guys haven't been seeing too much content from me. Not only that, but I talked about it in my last video. I've been in a little slump for the last month, but I'm back now and I'm trying to give you guys as much content as I can push out. So while I have some time to kill, I do want to say thank you for everyone that went and did a review or a testimonial for the Sephora squad. I truly appreciate you. If you're watching this video now until September, you still do have time to make a testimonial, but I really appreciate you guys. There were so many testimonials and I'm not able to see what you guys said, but I wish I could. And some of you guys did like put your same testimonies that you did for Sephora. You did put it under the comment of my last video, and I just enjoy reading those and seeing the impact that I've had. I am so humbled, and sometimes you just don't realize like how much you've helped people. I just kind of do things and I put it out there, and I know I'm teaching, I know I'm helping, but you just don't know the impact you have on shaping someone's life until they tell you like, hey, because of you, I started doing braids, and I've started my own business, and you've helped me learn how to do this, that, and third. And it's like you really don't see that impact unless you're told that. So as I'm pushing these videos out, and I'm just doing what I've been doing for the last 6 7 years, to me it's just it's work, and I do want to impact people, and I do want to help people in whatever way I can. But to see that I am doing that, and for you guys to step up and like even go out your way to make testimonials about it, and to kind of show me like, hey, you've made a great impact in my life. Like, it's so heartwarming to hear and to read. And I am so appreciative of you guys. I know you guys appreciate me for helping y'all, but I'm appreciate y'all for like for tuning in, for watching me, for commenting, for liking, and just for being kind, because there's so much kindness on this. I know there can be some negatives, but honestly, y'all, I really do overlook the negativity as much as I can. Y'all don't see me in no mess because I really don't pay the mess no attention. I really just focus on the positive things of social media. And you guys have been so uplifting and so positive on my channels. And I just appreciate y'all for that. And thanks everyone that was able to get over to Sephora and write a testimonial. It is still open till September. So if you guys want to, I'll drop the link in my description as well. So you guys can head over there if you haven't had a chance to, and you're just seeing this or just even hearing about it, because I get a little shy sometimes. So sometimes I don't like to post things. I didn't really post it on my Instagram. I didn't post it in areas that I really just don't want attention on, because I can be shy and nervous asking people to do favors for me. But you guys did show up and show out, and I so appreciate that. So now we're at the end of the braid. We did our last braid. We added in the little piece, and it turned out so cute, y'all. I was not sure about the little. I was like, why they like them curly pieces in their head? I really was judging the people with the curly pieces in the front of their hair. But me having it on myself and like having my face with makeup on and just the curly piece just falling, it does look so cute to me now. So I understand the obsession with the curly pieces. So now I'm just going in and I'm fluffing out the ends of my hair, because I'm going to put it in two buns. But I didn't want some regular degular two buns. I wanted to spruce it up a bit. So I wanted to fluff the ends out. And my mistake was braiding it so tight. When you braid so tight and then you try to pull on it, it's so painful. Luckily I have my nails on to help me, but yeah, it was really painful trying to fluff those out. And now I'm just gonna wrap them around into two buns. And I just want a two cute puffy, puffed out buns. And that definitely did the trick for it. I wish I could have fluffed them out a little bit more, but like I said, it was just really, really hard to fluff it out. But if you try to do this yourself, go ahead and just not braid your hair out so tight. Braid it a little loose so that when you go to pull on it, it pulls out easily. So I like to use the She Is Bomb Edge Control to do my edges. This, I've been using it now, I would say a couple months, and it's been doing me justice. So um, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put those on my adult hair, and I'm gonna brush those out and just curl them, and the style is gonna be complete for real, for real. So I'm gonna be looking out in the comments to see what you guys think about this style. Would you try this style? Did I help you to be able to do this style on yourself? I'm not really teaching how to braid. I do have a course for that. However, like, if you already know how to braid, you already kind of know how to braid on yourself. I feel like it could be helpful to watch a video like this to learn not only how to do it on yourself, but to also do it on a client, or, your daughters or your sisters or whoever. If you're not a professional braider, there are people out there that still do their kids' hair and family. But this is the final look, you guys. Look how cute those two little curls are. I'm loving the curls. Don't judge me. I was judging people with them, but now I guess I'm the one to be judged. But this is how the style turned out. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting, and for liking my videos. If you guys made it all the way to the end of this 30-minute video, go ahead and like it, because clearly you liked the video. You watched it all the way through. And if you want to throw some pizzazz on it, go ahead and comment what I've helped you with. And thank you again for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.